All right, so I'm just going to bring you guys up to speed on everything. And I'm doing this as a video because I don't feel like typing everything out 10,000 times or copying and pasting. I'm going to give you a rundown from the very beginning just in case you missed my important announcement Twitch stream um, last month. So in 2018, I found a canker sore on my tongue. Stayed with me for a while. I decided to get it looked at. It turned out that it was cancer when they tested it. Um, Shortly that year after that, I had an excision where they removed that section of my tongue where the cancer was, and then followed up with the normal cancer treatment of every 6 months. You go for a checkup. They check on you and they do a bunch of things and stuff. You do that for 5 years. After 5 years, if it doesn't return, you're cancer free. So my last 6 month checkup was the very beginning or the end of January, end of January, beginning of February, and then a week later, I was kind of feeling my throat's a little sore, or something was just off, and you kind of like rub your neck, and I was rubbing my neck, and right here, um, right there on the backside of my jaw, I felt a little bit of a lump. Um, this was the second week of February, I believe. I went to my GP. He took a look at it, felt it, sent me for an ultrasound right off the bat. Ultrasound came back um, inconclusive, so he sent me for a CT scan, and I went to an ENT or ear, nose, and throat doctor as well. The same guy who does my checkups for the other cancer. He did a quick biopsy with a needle. Stick a needle in there, draw whatever's inside. They sent that for tests. That came back inconclusive as well. He sent me for an ultrasound guided biopsy, which was they use an ultrasound, they pinpoint the location, they take a bunch of samples with something I didn't know, couldn't see obviously because it's over here. They test it on site at that point to make sure they have enough material that they need. Then they follow up with a more in-depth review of the material. It turns out that it was cancerous, metastasized into my lymph node. Um, Went back to the oncologist in Calgary. He took a look at it. They sent me for a PET scan, which is a positron emission tomography, where they inject you with a radioactive sugar. And because cancer is a high metabolized cell, it absorbs the sugar quicker than your normal cells. So what that does is the radioactivity travels to wherever it's being metabolized fastest, and then they put you in like a big sort of CT scanner thing, and it shows you where everything that is metabolizing the radioactive sugar quicker than your normal cells. So what that showed is that all four of my lymph nodes on both sides of my neck have tested positive for cancer, but they didn't find any other cancer anywhere else in my neck area. They don't know if it was caused from my tongue cancer 4 years ago or if there's another bit of cancer that they just can't see yet. So because of the location of this one and the way it's grown, it's attached to my carotid artery, and it's also intertwined itself in my neck muscles on this side. So what they can't do is remove it with surgery, which means my only course of treatment currently will be radiation and chemotherapy. Now, I spoke to the radiation oncologist today a bit about how that treatment goes. And so once they begin that treatment, it'll be 5 days a week for 6.5 weeks. And unfortunately, this can only be done in Calgary, which is a 2 hour drive away. So I will be leaving home for 6.5 weeks in order to partake in this therapy. I don't know about the chemotherapy yet. I don't find out about that until later in the month. But my guess is it'll be radiation, chemotherapy, same day, and it'll be either longer or shorter. I don't fully have all the answers yet. What that means is obviously my stream schedule for those 6.5 weeks will basically be zero at this time. I'm not even going to have a computer yet that I know of. I am looking at seeing if there's a way I can get some sort of gaming setup where we're going to be staying, which we don't even know yet, just for the fact that between the radiation and chemotherapy sessions, there's going to be a lot of resting, and I can't rest for 19, 20 hours a day. I don't know how I'm going to feel yet, but I'm going to hopefully set myself up so that I at least can have something to entertain myself while I'm down there and away from my normal routine, which is going to suck. So, yeah, that kind of brings you guys up to date on what's the situation with me. I do hope, um, like, I will be streaming up until I can no longer do it and I have to leave for my therapy sessions. And I'll leave a link to my Twitch channel in the description for this video. But this kind of brings you up to date on my situation, and it's not incurable. It's what they consider a curable form of cancer, but it does suck. I'd lie if I wasn't afraid, but you know, as they say in Dune, fear is the mind killer. Fear is little death that brings total obliteration. You will face your fear. You will allow it to pass by you and through you, and when it is gone, you will turn your inner eye to see its path, and only I will remain. I only know that is not the exact quote, but it's paraphrased a bit. So, yeah, I will keep you guys all updated, and thank you for any of the support that you can give me. You know, your well wishes and whatnot. We'll get through this. And we'll see how things look on the other side of this journey.